Alrighty, YouTube, welcome back, everybody. We are doing some donation decks for Humiaspanda, who is in the chat. We are playing some blue-white affinity, but maybe not quite the affinity deck that you are used to. So we have some similar elements going on here. We have Esper Sentinel, we have Memnite plus Springleaf Drum, Urza, Lord High Artificer, Thought Monitor, but we're choosing to pair that with an Ephemerate shell. So we have 4 Ephemerates, 4 Solitudes. Ephemerate also very powerful with Thought Monitor. We have Golos and a small Golos package with Cascading Cataracts, Crumbling Vestige, which is kind of cool, because if you have Golos Ephemerate, you can Golos for Vestige. Vestige make a white, Ephemerate the Golos, and then go again. So we have that kind of Ephemerate package, then we also have a Thopter Sword package. And the reason I like the Thopter Sword package is it gives you additional white cards for Solitude. So that's kind of cool. And then we have Portable Hole, which is just an excellent removal spell in these affinity-based decks. It's an artifact on the battlefield, helps you cast Dot Monitor, taps for a blue with Urza. And then we have, obviously, our very small Saga package, which is 1 Shadowspear and 4 Drums. You can also get Memnite with Saga. Sometimes that happens as well. Mana base pretty, straightforward. We gotta make some sacrifices to add the Golos lands. We're not playing like the full 4 Citadels, only 1 bridge. So maybe, that might be a noticeable difference here. But other than that, really, really sweet deck list here. And then moving on to the sideboard, got some usual suspects here. Spreading Seas for Saga Mirrors and Amulet. March for, again, Saga Mirrors mostly, but Hammer Time as well. Blusterstorm, Spell Snare, some counter spells, Teferi for the control matchups, along with Dovin's Veto. Chalice Explosives for Rhinos, Damping Sphere for Tron, and then a Lantern for Living End. So, without further ado, let's get started. Chat. How's our hand? We got... Saga can carry us, right? We draw a white card, we have access to Solitude. I mean, it's a slow hand, but Saga is incredibly powerful. I'm going to keep this hand. This is one of those, just, keep on the back of Saga. And we have an answer to... Oh, that's a really good draw. We have an answer to Ragavan, too. I should have played Sentinel before playing Memnite, just in case they wanted to bolt the Memnite. I don't think they ever would, but... Scalding Tarn for Rafine's Tower. Interesting. Prismatic Endings. This is probably blue-white control. Yeah, the old Memnite Golos. You go low, then you go high. This is a Mike Sigris special. You get him low, then you get him high. Yeah, that's kind of an awkward draw. I think I'm willing to take a turn off of playing Saga to resolve this, though, especially against counterspells. I mean, I guess it's bad if they just have another Prismatic Ending, but I don't think I'm going to need the white card in hand for Solitude against, Rafine's Tower Basic Island. Psych, Sigris. What's up, Talos? How you doing, buddy? Hallowed Fountain tapped. Woo! That's a good draw. I am going to cast that one. Would you like to counter it? Can't this is banned? It is banned. Yeah, they kind of have to counter it. I can Saga from Memnite to get it back, though, so... Can pitch Solitude and use Spring the Shadow to tap for mana? Yeah. I'm likely just going to Saga for a Memnite to get this back. But we'll see what happens. Oh, wait, I can just sack the Memnite. What am I saying? I can just sack the Memnite, yeah. It's like the same thing, but way better. I'm feeling better, Pepper Jack. I'm getting there. I would say not quite 100%, but I'm definitely getting there. Or just draw the Memnite 5-head. I guess I'll play Memnite here. Honestly, I think it's better to just make Thopter tokens than it is to make Saga tokens. Because, making a single Thopter token is just bad if they have Solitude, so... Also, chat, I figured out an idea for sub-goals. Alright, tell me how you think of this. So, I have the sub-goal currently at 400. For every 100 subs, so 400, 500, 600, we'll do a 12-hour stream. If we get to 1,000, I'll do a subathon. Does that sound reasonable? I don't even think we're ever going to get to 1,000, but if for some reason that does ever happen, then we'll do it like that. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Everybody keeps asking me what I want to do for a sub-goal, so we'll do 12-hour streams every 100. I feel like that's pretty fair. Sub-goal, play League of Humans? No. Alright, do I want to make a Saga token here? Because they're likely going to counter my Thopter Foundry. Moniz, thank you for the 69 bits. We could try to set up some bit badges. I think people do like subs for bits. We could consider that. I mean, I'm not casting Thopter Foundry in open mana, so I think I'm just gonna make a token here. Just not play a spell. I'll send like 2 tokens at Tef, the rest at them. Make them verdicts. Get a drum here. Let's go to combat. We'll send this at Tef, this at Tef. I think just 2 at Tef is fine. If they want to spend, like, I don't know, two things to answer 2 tokens, I'm cool with that. You can also cast Urza. I don't want to cast anything into counterspells, though. Like, they obviously have a counterspell, right? Why would I cast a spell here? I mean, I guess it's awkward because they're just going to go land 4, Verdict with counterspell up, so I still can't really cast a spell next turn. But, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe I should have played the Urza last turn, because now I kind of feel priced into casting this, just because I have nothing else to do. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to cast this, but maybe I'm not. I floated mana so I can F6. Alright, I need one of those Memnites back. Can I get a Memnite? Can I get a Memnite? Okay, I mean, they only have 1 card, right? Like, this can't be that bad. Just need to find a land and we're chilling. Yeah, Shadowspear is not quite a land. Just sack a drum. Sack a drum to what? I don't have the Foundry in play. Have nothing. I can't do anything. You are drum. And they have castle. This is actually kind of rough now. Could draw a white card and evoke Solitude for a mana. True. If I draw another Solitude, I could just pitch Solitude to make a Lotus Petal. Honestly, if I draw Solitude, I'll probably do that. Alright, well. Odds that this resolves? Literal 0. Holy shit, it resolved. Because they have Solid Dude. They don't have Solid Dude? I mean, I'm casting Golos, right? I'm casting Golos. It's gonna get the Cataracts, I think. I could get Saga. I think it's better to get Cataracts, though. Yeah. I guess Cataracts is worse if they have Verdict, but... yeah, maybe I should have thought about Verdicts. Because this is a lot worse if they have Verdict. I didn't think they had Solitude, because if they had Solitude, they should have Solituded the Urza with the trigger on the stack. So that was a slight misplay by them. Because if they had killed the Urza with the trigger on the stack, I wouldn't have had the 5th mana to play the Golos there. So, like, once they let the Urza resolved, I just assumed they didn't have Solitude, you know? Silly me. Silly me. The Wandering Emperor. Just gonna exile the token? Sure, that's fine. Okay. I'm just gonna recast it. They bin their Tef. I would like to recast my Golos. Counterspell's kind of fine, actually, because I have another Golos. Is it reasonable to play a Cavernous Souls to get off Golos? Maybe, but, like, the problem with Cavernous Souls for Golos is you have to have another threat backed up, right? So, like, it's only good if you have additional threats in your hand, which makes it seem like a little bit more to me. Because most of the time you're just going to want to get a Cataracts or a Saga, you know? But, I mean, in this matchup specifically, that might be the one spot you want it in, so maybe, but... Portable Hold, not the best. So, do I Saga token, or do I hold... I mean, I'm just going to hold up mana. Could leave the options of either make a token or play Solitude. Resolving Golos means no counter magic anyway. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fine. My token is a 6/6, right? I mean, I'm just gonna go for the token. It is a 6/6. I have another Solitude. Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna pitch Solitude to kill their thing, because I'm gaining 6 life anyways. Yeah, this is definitely not a portable hole matchup. Alright, I'm definitely making another token here. Because then I'll still have 5 mana to play a Solitude. I'm probably playing Solitude over Golos here. Getting a Memnite. Play the Saga. I don't think I should play Solitude now, because they probably have Counterspell. 3, 4... I have 6 mana here. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna pass for now. Maybe I should upkeep the Solitude. Yeah, I think I should upkeep the Solitude. I think upkeep is fine. I guess upkeep is worse if they have Verdict, but I don't care too much if they Verdict this board. Looks like Verdict. I'm cool with that. Less cool with that. 0 deaths upkeep in our turn. Well, if I do it on my turn, they just get to use their mana and then untap with all of their mana, as opposed to doing it on their upkeep, which means if they have a counterspell, they get 2 less mana on their turn. So it's slightly better if they have counterspell. Ooh, okay. So now I can actually Portable Hole the token and then send both at Def. That's actually not bad. That's a really good draw, too. Alright, I'm going to start with Portable Hole. I want to get this Def out of here. Okay. Question is, do I equip the Memnite? I don't really care if they kill the Memnite. I really don't care. And then I can go post-combat, Foundry, and make a token. They don't have enough mana to cast Solitude here, so I think their last card's Solitude. White, white. Another Emperor. Alright. So they get to keep Teferi Emperor. I don't know if that beats Thopter Foundry combo, though. Like, I think we're fine here. They have no cards. We've seen the new Ape. Looks like Mono Green may have gotten the best new card of the set. I saw that card. I don't know if Mono Green actually wants to play that card. I did see it, Soto. Do you guys think Mono Green actually wants to play that card? Like, it's not better than Cavalier, I don't think. You can't cut Cavs for that card. So maybe, but I don't really know I don't know what you're cutting. How's Golos been? I haven't activated it, but got a couple lands off. It felt okay. Resolute Reinforcements, what the hell's that? Okay, Teferi's not a bad draw. I think we're still fine, though. They bounce the Thopter Foundry, I can just go make a Saga token, make 2 more Thopters. They do get to untap 2 lands. They're bouncing the Saga? Weird. I'm cool with that. I think they're just kind of fucked either way. Because they have, Prismatic Ending. It's totally fine. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better, Care Bear. A lot better. Jose, thank you for the biddies. You sure about that? You sure about that, Jose? I feel like they're fighting an uphill battle. See the literal impulse? Is it actually impulse? Or is it, functional reprint? Is it just called impulse? It's literal impulse. Okay, that's kind of sweet. I'm gonna kill both Teferis, I think. Let's go Hero, Raveler, and you can go. Good luck. Literally named Impulse. Nice. After 25 years, they finally gave us Impulse. Good for the boomers. It's a sweet imprint. I don't know if it's gonna see play in Pioneer though, because it doesn't put cards. It doesn't put the extra cards in the graveyard. Okay, it's the best card they could have drawn, but we're still fine. They have to have Verdict or they can't win. Impulse will Lotus. Yeah, that's true. Lotus will definitely play Impulse. Yeah. That's fair. It is a better version of that. That's a good point. I mean, if their last card is Verdict, then I guess they're not dead, but... Cancel, they cost 1 blue if they cast 2 spells. Cancel that costs 1 and a blue if they double spell. So if they double spell, it's a 2-mana counterspell. That card's kind of cool. Is it cancel or negate? Would a domain spell pierce be too good? Oh yeah. The card's busted. Kidding me? The card's way too good. We're attacking with a 5/4 first strike. Alright, I'll chump block. Cancel. That card's good. I drew a solid dude. I have 1 card. Alright, let's send 4 of these at Emperor. And then the rest at them. Just gonna hold up my mana. You may proceed. I'm gonna wait till they tap out to... Well, I guess they're not tapping out, but I'm gonna try and Solitude right now, I think. I guess if I Solitude, I don't have enough mana to make a token. Nah, fuck that. I'm just gonna make a token. These are on counterspell too. Impulse used to shuffle the library. No, put the cards in the bottom. Regular tap dual lands a common like the snow ones from Call Time Sand Snow. So like Bloodfell Caves and stuff, but without the 1 life. The greediest Dreadnought Enabler. The shit. I will make a token. I Solitude my token so I can gain 16. Oh. Alright, whatever. I'll Ephemerate it. I think I might... If I upkeep cast the Solitude... I guess that's really... There's no point in doing that, right? That's just literally irrelevant. Yeah, whatever. Alright, I'll make a token. I will get a Memnite. So now I have Solitude available. And we'll attack with all my creatures. We gotta go. We have arrived at our destination. I need to help unpack. See you when I finish. Take it easy, JS. I'll see you in a little bit, buddy. The uphill battle. I mean, my opponent's gotta be worried about time, right? Like, I don't think they can possibly win this game. They gotta be worried about time. Why would Doom blink a token which would not come back into play? Why would I blink a token there, chat? Monka, What's the... So that, like, the original wording on Impulse, did it say shuffle the library? Because that's not what the card does, right? Yeah. Probably should have cast this before they resolve the Memory Deluge, but whatever. It's amazing that you kept up the blade control deck after, like, 12 turns. I mean, is it, though? I've drawn 3 Urza Sagas, I resolved the Thopter Foundry and made 20 tokens, like... I think the fact that I'm like, beating them this badly is kind of assumed, you know? Like, this game isn't even close. Sure. Sure. Alright, I'm at 32. They still can't win. Let's play... I kind of want to save the Golos, actually. Golos is just going to be, like, my last resort. This is my last resort. So I can't... no... Attack. Golos first. No, I'm just going to save the Golos. Like, they have to have Verdict or they can't win. Why would I play Golos here? They already have to cast Verdict. There's just no reason to play the Golos here. I'm just waiting, and I'm just going to cast this after they play Verdict. I don't even think that's good enough. Don't even think that's good enough. Because the cool thing? I mean, sure, that's fair. Guess I lose a little bit of value on the Ephemerate here, but whatever, it's fine. Deck. They are now at 11. Your turn. So I shouldn't have 6, I want to use my fetch land. Yield till next end step. Also, this is game 1, and they have 11 minutes on their clock. So, I don't think we're losing this match. Something tells me we're not losing this match. Because if they don't win game 1, they can't win the match. Sure. Yes, we've done lots and lots of clock damage. Yep, clock. This is in fact a yep clock situation. How much would a sorcery that does minus 5 minutes cost? The only text on the card is your opponent loses 5 minutes on their clock. I don't know. How much would that cost, chat? Not a privilege. I should probably spread the love around with these. Is this lethal? I don't know, man. Doesn't matter if I change that. I think it's lethal. They block a 2, take 7, 8, 9, 10. They go to 1. Alright, whatever, they go to 1. Go. And a blue-eyed opponent take more than 20 minutes for game 1 they won and probably scooped the match. That sounds about right. Win game 1, scoop the match. It should be an ult for Teferi, -8 loyalty, opponent loses half their clock. No, you lose half of your clock because of how long it takes to play blue-white. That's the ultimate. -8, cut your clock in half. It's the only text on the card. Teferi who accelerates the sunset, yeah. Opponent gets low on clock, it makes me nervous and I start panicking. Depends on the state of the game, you know. I'm going to attack with only the flyers, I think, to play around Solitude. Are they going to Archmage's Charm a Thopter token? It's still lethal, isn't it? Archmage's Charm a Thopter token. 3 blockers. 8. Yeah, it's still lethal. They go to 3. They block 3. They go, and yeah, it's still lethal. Okay. Fast priority. Only send flyers. Well, if they didn't cast the charm, I would have only sent flyers to play around Solitude, but... Alright, see, we won game 1, and they can't win the match. So we're just like... We're playing the next 2 games for basically no reason. We have already won the match, chat. Maybe I'll skip game 2 for the YouTube. Can I ask you a personal advice? I want to build another deck to play. Having also 4-color Yorion. I was wondering between Merfolk and Jund, which one is viable for you if there is one? Probably Jund. I think Jund Saga is a decent deck. Yeah, Spell Snare for counterspell's fine. They also might bring in their Unseas. Veto's cracked. Portable Hole is trash. What else is bad? Solitude's not ideal. You can trim off Solitude, I think. Straver, thank you so much for the 2 months. Appreciate you. Trying to get to that sub goal. Thank you, thank you. We gotta cut one more card, chat. Maybe the 4th Ephemerate from cutting a Solitude. It's probably fine. Not even sure if Flusterstorm is that good against them, but they're like pretty Planeswalker heavy, but it's good at fighting counter wars. I mean, I have Saga plus Counterspell. I think this hand's okay. M. Hayashi Sea Snoppy deck is sweet. Yeah, maybe. Chalice the Void for 0. Stops my Memnites, I guess. I should have played the Flooded Strand there, because I want to hold up Flusterstorm. Should have played the Flooded Strand. Tonight for Merfolk with the new lore, but everybody says that Merfolk is not good. I mean, the issue with Merfolk is the card Fury. Also, right on time. I'm actually going to wait on the Saga, I think. Yeah, my big issue with Merfolk is, like, the new Lord is cool, and it's a really powerful effect, but, I don't know, it's really hard to justify playing... It's really hard to justify playing a tribal strategy when, you know, a card like Fury exists. I think Zombies is more playable now that Zombies got screwed and the new Lord is a cleric. No. My answer to your question is no. Should I play the Memnite for funsies? Yeah, Solitude plus Ephemerate's kind of tough too. 3 mana. Lord is also a 1/1. Yeah, that's the other issue too. I mean, the cool thing about the Lord is it has flash, you know? That's the cool thing about the Lord, is the fact that it has flash. It means that you can like get around Ren and 6, right? If you play 1-drop, like let's say you're on the play, and you go land 1-drop, they go land pass. You go land, attack for 1 pass, and they go Ren, down tick on your guy, and you flash in the Lord. That's kind of a beating. You know, like that's a pretty big beating. And that's cool, but like how often does that come up, you know? Just, you can draw a card, Giga Chad. Do I want to Ephemerate this? I kinda do. I don't really think I'm getting much else out of this Ephemerate, so... They just refuse to pay for the Sentinel, so... They just left up Mystic Gate and just didn't pay for Sentinel. Excuse me? What just happened? I don't understand. I have questions. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna resolve Urza now, I guess. have so many questions. You can go. Yeah, we drew a card, traded for a counterspell. Like, I don't understand what just happened. I guess they're gonna verdict me. Definitely. Throwing the Bachelor deck doesn't get punched for the next LSQ. Yeah. It's like mildly annoying, but no, I just attack Tef. Can like make a token kill Tef. What am I getting? Do I not have a needle in my sideboard? I just like don't have a needle, huh? That's kind of weird. I feel like there should probably be a needle in the 75. I mean, I guess I'll get drum. But combat. Yeah, I don't know why there's no needle in my sideboard. There probably should be. It's an oversight. Yeah, I also just missed it, so you're not the only one. I also missed it. Wait, hold on. I should leave up the drum, right? Yeah, I should leave up the drum. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Draw 2. And you can go. 1000 also seems bad. This will only stop Memnite. Yeah, I mean, they don't know that I'm not playing, that my only 0 is Memnite, so, you know, they played it without that information. But yes, it currently only stops Memnite. That is correct. Sure, Urza down. Do I draw much in the Vintage Cube? When I can. It's not always open, though, you know? Excuse me. So, let's go Shadowspear. Equip here. Attack for 9, make a token. And I know that I could have made a token pre-combat, but that's bad if they have Verdict, so I'm just going to fetch main phase, pass. If they have Verdict, I can just float a mana, let Verdict resolve, and then make a token. How often do you think you'll have to just Twister and Pray? I mean, I think the most powerful card in the Storm deck in the Vintage Cube is Yawgmoth's Will, but nobody, like, you know. They are killing the Construct token. Also, still not paying. They just refuse to pay. They're just like, nah, I'm just never paying. Just not happening. Just literally never paying. I respect it, you know? I do, in fact, respect it. Equip this one. Combat step. Maybe Breach now? Oh, did they put Breach back in the cube? It's kind of crazy. You know what they're doing? They're trying to deck me. That's what they're doing. Yeah, they're just trying to deck me. They're just never going to pay for the Sentinel because they want to deck me. Oh, 5-head. Actual 5-head. Paying takes time they don't have. That's also true. They have no time. I can't believe they added Underworld Breach to the Vintage Cube. That card's insane. Like, actually broken. Holy shit, they paid! They figured it out, chat! Chat, they figured it out. They know how to pay. They did it. They actually did it. They actually paid. I'm shocked. I didn't think it was possible. I mean, it seems like they're F6, so I ain't playing around shit. Proceed. Do you want to see Farewell now? I don't want to see that. I mean, even if they cast Farewell, they don't have enough time to win 2 games. It's just not physically possible with their deck. It's funny, I had an opponent lose their mind when I vamped tutor for Twister and passed the turn, told them they must not play Star much. I mean, you got to do that sometimes, right? Like that's the life with Storm, you know. You're gonna have some of those games. All right, we done? I think we're done. No, we're gonna play it out. Gonna play it out. All right, well, your turn. Like they might miss Chalice check dang load on the have. Yeah, I know, right? Imagine. Sacrifice my sword. They have conceded from the game. All right, cool. Well, we effectively won that match 1-0, but, you know. They changed the rules on that, right? Ooh, the Crumbling Vestige in the opening hand. Sand's kind of weird, champ. Kind of want to try it, though. Sand's obviously good if we draw Thopter Foundry. If they're playing, like, a creature-based strategy, we have Solitude, White Guard, Ephemerate, so that could be good, too. But, I mean, obviously this hand's a little skeptical. You know, it's missing some things. We do have a Ragavan answer, though. The best Ragavan answer in the format. Remembering your own cards is annoying. Well, what I'm saying is I think that's illegal in paper now. Like, I think it's a thing where you literally can't miss it. You know? Like, if you cast a spell into your opponent's Chalice, I'm fairly certain they changed the rules to where you get a warning if you do that. Like, it's just not a thing you could miss anymore. Thopter Foundry. Not quite. Not quite a Thopter Foundry. I actually kind of don't want to cast Portable Hole here, because I want to just Solitude. Yeah, I don't want to cast the Portable Hole here. I want to put the Solitude into play. Hopefully, like, if they just go attack and then second main, I'll just take one and then try to get an idle on second main. They just played the Ragavan? I mean, I'm down. I'm down. I guess I'll take this. Well, this worked out pretty well, chat. This, in fact, worked out pretty well for me. MH2 cards, am I right? MH2 cards, am I right? You can cast spells into Chalice for stuff like Delve spells regularly. Oh, I guess that's true, yeah. Like, for game mechanics, they probably have to let you allow it. But, like, if you cast a spell into your opponent's Chalice, you have to point out the Chalice trigger, correct? At least that's, like, that's what I remember hearing. But I don't know if that's correct. Little punish for not playing the sword the turn that I played Shadowspear. Like, last turn when I went Shadowspear equipped, but I think it's fine. Because I can just go white, blue, and now I can just sack the Memnite. Can attack with the Solitude, sack the Memnite. If your opponent checks their own Chalice, they cheating. No, I'm saying, like, if you're checking their Chalice, you know what I mean? Like, they have a Chalice on one, and you play a Lava Spike. Like, I don't know. I don't remember. I know they changed the rule a couple of times. I don't know what it is right now, but I know they've changed it like once or twice. Rules are explicit that you never under an obligation to remember your opponent's triggers, because otherwise just reward your player play triggers deck and judge jail every game. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Oh, block. Remember saying get Twitter cancel once for playing Trample, how the rule works. I'm just not going to attack. Oh, they don't want to play. Come back. How could it be illegal to check their Chalice? Just ask the opponent if you can see it. They'll probably say yes. If not, the judge. Let the judge let you check Chalice on Oracle. I don't know. Again, I don't know exactly how it works, but alright, we're playing against red-green. I guess red-green prowess is the best way to describe this. I don't know if I like Flusterstorm. March is pretty good. Kind of like March. Kind of like Chalice. I don't know, though. Chalice again one's a little awkward, because we have a lot of good ones, so I probably shouldn't bring in the Chalice. EE's not bad, but kind of same thing. We have a lot of ones. I don't know if I want to bring in the explosives. It's like, usually you only want to bring in these cards if they're doing it on 0, because it can get kind of awkward with their own cards. Twitter cancel for playing Trample, how it works means. What exactly even happened with that? Oh, yeah, I do remember that now. Now that you mention it, Sauce, I do remember that. Yeah, opponent didn't announce Trample. I remember that now. What am I cutting against? Red-green prowess. Ropeburn, thank you so much for the 13 months. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm going to trim a Thought Monitor, I think. It's kind of slow in this matchup. And I think I'm going to cut the second Golos. I want to keep one Golos, but just some very light sideboarding. It was written in the book that default for trample default damage for tramples on blocker and not on player. Yeah, it was like worded kind of weirdly, right? To the point where it's like that rule was exploitable kind of thing. Yeah, I'm getting a lot better single serving. Getting a lot better. Alright, do I Portable Hole or do I Sentinel? I think I Portable Hole here. Should have been canceled for playing Oko. I mean, that's probably true too. Solitude. You know, I don't know what I don't know what to say, Chad. I really don't know what to say. It's really just too easy. As your motto so snappy. You just have to pay for premium. That's all it is. You just gotta pay for premium. See, my uncle works for WotC, so that's what it is, you know. Grudge kind of do be awkward a little next turn. Think they just had Bolt in hand? I really fucking hope not. I maybe should have main phased this, but I might get mega punished for not main phasing this. I thought about main phasing it, but I wanted to get a little greedy and try to get a third creature out of it. No, all right, they don't have second Bolt. That's good. Okay, so no. I mean, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? I'm gonna play Sword, obviously, because if I play Foundry, they're just gonna grudge it, so. I mean, if they find a stomping ground, they can flash back the grudge in the Foundry, so it's, like, not the end of the game, but it's fine. Alright, there's the stomping ground. They have a shot. I kind of just want to draw a land here, so I can make 2 tokens. Perfect. Yeah, now I can just make 2 tokens. I honestly should have attacked first. Because now if I attack, they're going to trade. So I just don't want to attack. Am I crazy to think that Leyline Binding is going to be a big deal? That card's sick. It's actually crazy. I don't think you're wrong at all. Like, I don't know, I know we haven't talked about it a lot. We haven't really talked about it at all, but I think Leyline Binding is going to be really good in Rhinos specifically. It's gonna make Rhinos really, really good. So I'm super excited for Binding in Rhinos. Good in a bad deck, sick. Rhinos is dope, man. What are you talking about? It's just an answer for everything. It's an answer for Murktide, it's an answer for Chalice, Teferi, it's like... I guess it doesn't answer Teferi that well, because you have to play it on your own turn, but the fact that it can cost 1 mana, like, imagine a scenario where you just get to go... what am I attacking with? I kind of want to equip Solitude and leave back both Thopter tokens. I think I like that. But, like, imagine a scenario where you just go, like, they play Teferi on turn 3, right? And you just go play your 4th land, kill your Teferi for 1 mana, and then just play your Cascade spell. Like, it's disgusting. It's so fucking good. Does it make Bant Rhinos a thing? You still have to play red. Like, you can't not play, you can't not play Violent Outburst. Violent Outburst is too good. But you can probably go a little bit less on green, a little bit less on red cards for sure. Best new card in the set's not even close. Yeah, I agree. I also think that Leyline Binding is the best new card in the set by a lot. So they growth to save the Ragavan, but they're still trading for the Channeler right now. Lava Dot. Playing to splash 2 off-color Triumphs. You only need 1, I think. Yeah, I kind of wish that was just a land, to be honest with you. I'm just going to hold back Solitude, I think. Yeah, no attacks. The Flash Out Ring? I think the Flash Out Ring is nuts. I think it's going to make it's going to make splashing white and Rhinos really, really good. It's too efficient. It answers literally everything. It's so good. Like, all you have to do is just play, like, you could just play, like, even if you played, like, an Esper Triome instead of a second island or something, you know? And then you just go, like, Esper Triome into Stomping Ground, and you just play it for 1 mana. Like, it doesn't even fuck up your curve that much. But maybe you'd rather just have, like, 2 off-color Triomes than a double off-color Triome, you know? But yeah, people were telling me about Impulse. It'll see play in Pioneer in the Lotus Field deck. Ancient Grudge. It's a card they forgot to include in MH2, to be honest. Probably, yeah. So I have to trade for Ragavan now. I really don't want to pitch cast this Solitude. I think I'm not going to. Because if I just draw a land, it's so much better. I'm actually just going to main phase kill the Darcy so they can't get additional scry value off of it. Yeah, like this. Maybe it's worse to try and not try and ambush them, but just take this, right? If they have mutagenic growth in hand, I lose my Solitude. I mean, I guess they can flashback Ancient Grudge the trade, but if... Yeah. Actually, I think blocking is good. Maybe a little bit better if they have Become Immense. Like, getting the Become Immense out of their hand is pretty good. Yeah, this is just fine. Okay. So, now I can just pass with Solitude up. Thinking Martyr Triumph into Breeding Pool. Yeah, that might work too. What's up, Spike? How you doing, buddy? Alright, well, they're gonna concede the game. Because I drew 3 Solitudes. MH2, am I right? MH2, am I right, chat? Any MH2ers in the chat? Any MH2 enjoyers? This is such a stupid card. Man. I feel so bad doing this, you know? Like, I feel like an asshole playing this card. I really do. A lot of MH2 cards. Okay, this is more what I was expecting when I signed up for this deck. You know. If this was a Hallowed Fountain, this hand would be fucking insane. How many white, like, actual white sources do we have? So, you don't really want to count this because you want to be able to hold up the Ephemerate. So 4, 8, 9, 11, 12, kind of. So it's like, what, 1 in 4.5, kinda? Would you rather delete Omnath or any 2 MH2 cards of my choice? I mean, I guess Omnath, but I think I think I would, you know, if you bump that number up to like 5, then probably MH2, but... Plus Drum? Drum doesn't count with this hand. Oh, it does, because if I play the Drum, then I can... Yeah, the Drum does count. You know what? Alright, I'm on the draw, it's fine. Yeah, Drum does count. That's so cool, where you can go, like, Colorless Land, Drum, Solitude, Evoke Trigger on the stack, Float White, and then Ephemerate. That's so sweet. That's, like, such a cool interaction. And Yorion EI Outbursts. I mean, you're not going to want to know... You're not going to want to like my answer. So I probably shouldn't say anything. This is one of those things where I just, like, should not speak. Because you don't want to know what I think they should ban. Ooh, castable spell. I mean, honestly, Care Bear, pretty much, yeah. I mean, potential in Mariah as additional copies of Urza in a Thopter sword deck. What is the exact text on Mariah? I'm not good with names. You're gonna mood me. I have Solitude, but it kills my Saga, so it's a little annoying. Oh. Keck wait? Keck wait? Alright, you got me. Touche. GG's, Urza, GG's. Oh, there's some rough draws. Fulminator Mage in 2022. I guess this is good in the scam deck, right? Can, like, Undying Evil then sack Fulminator Mage. That's kind of dope. Fable, yeah. What's up, Daniel? Tap and untap non-token artifact you control, add G. Tap 2, untap non-token artifact, 6 left target that this turn. Oh, to make more mana? Maybe. I could see it. I still have no white mana. I'm not solituding this, am I? I don't think so. Maybe I should, though. I'll let them draw cards first. Yeah, the fact that it's non-token is kind of awkward. Like, you can't, you know... I mean, I guess that's good if you have, like, a bunch of Memnites and shit, but non-token is kind of tough. It's a tough sell. They have 3 cards left. I kind of want to Solitude this. I don't think it's a good line, but... This might be kind of a stupid line. Am I feeling well enough for deck text? My voice is still, like, not quite there, so I'm turning off deck text for the time being. We'll go back to deck text, like, you know, in a couple of days when I'm feeling a little bit better. But not quite yet. Temporary Lockdown. I think that card's nuts in Blue-Eye Control and Pioneer. Alright, let's play Urza here. I just want to use my mana. Blue. I recall Pioneer is an absolute meme. Like the early days, the Wild West, as it were. I actually quite enjoyed those, like, really, like, the first 6 months of Pioneer. I thought that shit was dope. Not everybody's cup of tea, but it's still a meme. No, it's not a meme. It's a good format. I enjoy Pioneer quite a bit. Yeah, back when there was just, like, so much degeneracy. And this was before people even figured out Inverter, you know? Alright, let's go untap. That's pretty good. I can just let them have this now, right? Can go make a token, get a drum, use this for white, play Foundry, attack for 5, and then if they play a creature, maybe I'll kill this, but like, I probably don't have to. Inverter was a lot of fun. Hot take, I actually think Inverter was good for Pioneer. I thought Inverter was fine. It, like, okay, here's my question. Do you think Mono Green would even be good against Inverter in this format? Like, if we just had, like, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Inverter, Mono Green, who would be favored, Inverter or Mono Green? I have to imagine Inverter would be favored, right? Is Manily too strong for Pioneer? I think so, yeah. I think 2-mana generic counterspells are too strong for Pioneer. I mean, I guess you have the, 2-mana counterless they pay 2, but, like, Manily is significantly better than that card. Didn't they know about the Solitude? They did. Could never beat it in the leagues I played, but like 5x Inverter. Yeah, that's fair. The fact that Mono Green could find Karn much more easily with Storm makes it closer, but I remember Inverter being favored in the past. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? These were like much less powerful versions of Mono Green. They didn't have Storm, they weren't like as focused on Karn, they were much more beatdown aspects. With like Burning Tree Emissary, Vivian, that kind of stuff. They were much more of a beatdown deck than a combo deck. So, like, I think these versions of Mono Green would probably maybe be a little bit better against Inverter, because you do have more consistent access to Karn. I agree with that. So they're playing Rakdos Scam. What's good against Rakdos Scam? I want to say Flusterstorm is like not terrible against them. It's good against Thoughtseize. It's decent-ish against Undying Evil, because they have to play a spell before the Undying Evil, so you can usually get Undying Evil with Flusterstorm, right? What does Karn do against Inverter? I mean, it gets Tormod's Crypt, which, like, can buy you a turn. Like, if they pass with, like, 5 or 6 cards in the graveyard, you just go Karn Crypt, and then they can't necessarily... Like, if they only have 3 or 4 mana, they can't just kill you that turn, right? So it, like, kind of buys you a turn. Like, if you can go, I guess the ideal play pattern would be, like, Karn Crypt, so you basically time walk, you buy yourself a turn guaranteed, and then you just slam Statue the turn after. And, like, maybe that's good enough, but if they just have a bounce spell for Statue, like Otawara, who cares, you know? Kind of want these Flusters. I could bring in Lantern, kind of messes with Undying Evil a little bit. How's the deck felt? It's felt awesome so far, Esponda. I love this deck. There's not a ton that I want to cut, you know? Like, I like all my cards. I don't want to do too much sideboarding. I think Memnite can get trimmed. Maybe can, like, shave... No, I'm just gonna, like, shave Memnite for this. I don't want to overboard. Can there be a 1 million point reward option to play Mazen and deck in Modern? You know what, chat? Next week, you guys are gonna have some fun next week. Somebody donated for Lantern. So we're gonna play some Lantern next week. Poggers Lantern? Yeah, Lantern in 2022. Well, you guys, chat's gonna have fun making fun of me, you know. What did Lantern cost? Well, I felt bad, because I didn't tell them at first that I didn't want to do Lantern, and they already donated for it, so I said, I'll let it slide this one time. But never again. If you're listening in chat and you want to donate for a future Lantern League, it's gonna cost you a lot more. Yeah, that sounds like your jam. Also, Camper, are you going to FNM tomorrow? I'm feeling a lot better, and I tested. When I tested last night, it was negative, so I think I'm good to go. Fatal Push. It's your wedding anniversary weekend. Nice. Well, congrats, buddy. Really hope I draw a land next turn. You ever say I'll only play lands for a grand? I bet you get the grand. All right, fine. I'll quote it. You can clip it and ship it. I will, future leagues, I will only play Lantern for $1,000. Rude! If I Solitude first, can their Magus just not enter the battlefield? Like, why? Why can't I do that, you know? I feel like I should be able to make that play. Kind of unfair. What deck do I play in paper? Well, it's Pioneer. Our FNMs are Pioneer, so I'm either going to play Mono Green or Greasefang tomorrow in Pioneer, but I'm probably going to play Mono Green in the RCQ. It works like that in Yu-Gi-Oh, I believe. Yeah, probably. Let's see. The hell inside your head. I was hoping to draw a Ephemerate. This is getting kind of awkward. Alright, I'm gonna do it this way. Kill the Magoose, play Sentinel. Kind of want to save the portable hull. I'm probably not winning this game. No Racksack? Why can't I just Solitude anyways? I can, but I can't save my Saga. That's the whole point, you know? And I didn't need to kill it there. I guess, like, I took 2 damage maybe that I shouldn't have, because I was going to kill it anyways, but... Yeah, the problem with Racksack is it's just so bad against Mono Green. I just can't figure that matchup out. Bruh! We're just getting fucking clapped over here. My god. We are just getting absolutely decimated. What am I supposed to do? Like, I guess I'm equipping the Sentinel. I don't have any other lines. I think I'm gonna hold back the elemental tokens. I don't even know, man. Just terminate my guy. Turok! Sick. So I guess I kill their Pyromancer. Now they have a pro-weight creature, which I almost certainly can't beat. A Bard Mono Green deck without Black Source and Ephemannity made 3-1. You don't need the Black Source. Like, if you have Nicol Bolas, you can just nick those for a Black Source with Nicol Bolas when you go through your whole deck. Silent Spec, thank you for the 6. Okay, that's the best draw in my deck. I don't know if it's good enough, but it is the best draw in my deck. Lucky I'm not your local Pioneer FNM, the guy that plays a full set of Doomblade showed up. Actual Doomblade, huh? Alright, Sentinel dies. Take 4, go to 6. Punk, thank you for the bits. Thank you. Yeah, so chat, for those of you who weren't here earlier, we talked about sub goals. Every 100 subs is a 12-hour stream, so 400, 500, 600. And if we miraculously somehow get to 1,000 subs, we're going to do a subathon. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but if for some reason we do, subathon incoming. Chump block. I don't think we have outs, but concession time. I'm trying to think if there's like a card I could even possibly draw here. Probably not. We're also just dead to a single removal spell. Just 1 Solitude. I don't even know if that's good enough. Go to 2. I also get Bank Buster from the sideboard for a treasure. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you don't actually need to play an Overgrown Tomb, like an actual Black Source in your Mono Green deck. You have Bank Buster, which you can untap infinitely with Teferi and stuff. If you're playing the Bolas version, you can just play, you go through your whole deck, put Bolas into play, and then nick those for black with the Bolas. Like, there's plenty of roundabout ways to get a Black Source, so you don't actually have to play a Black Source in your deck. Yeah, Flusterstorm does not seem very good against that setup. So, I'm not going to bring in Flusterstorm. I think I'm just good. Maybe Teferi, but I'm good with this. Am I the only person that isn't hyped about Days of Doing a blue-white control? I saw some of those lists that were like blue-white control with I'm assuming you're talking about Modern, right? With Days of Doing and Narset. I don't know. I just feel like that stuff is way too slow for Modern. I can't reasonably imagine that stuff is like you have time for that kind of shit in Modern. Sounds dope. And also, I just want to keep every 7-card hand against the Rakdos deck. This matchup is just all about, like, card quantity more than quality for sure. Proceed. I kind of have to take this, I would assume. Unless they have Voidwalker, then they maybe don't have to take this. But these 2 cards are both very good against them, so... I don't really want to sack the Lantern. Because I have 2 monitors now, so I'm just going to play this and pass. Did they play Ragavan, right? I'll hold this back. Nothing on 2. Okay. Give me like a Saga here. Oh, I should have got a basic Plains. That was really dumb. Yeah, I should have got a basic Plains 100% because of Magus. Also should have used the Crumbling Vestige to play the drum, but... 2, 3, 4... Family of... Wait, how much does it cost? 1, 2, 3... So it costs 4, and I have 1, 2, 3, so I'm 1 short. Well, I can cast it next turn. Even if I get Moon, which is fine. But watched Everest play that combo in Pioneer, still a meme. Which one? Was it like blue-red? I've seen a lot of people play blue-red. It's just like a blue-red control deck with Days Undoing Narset. I mean, it's probably especially slow in Pioneer, right? Ah! Alright, land. God damn it. I only have 3 mana. Go! Maybe I should just play the portable. So that if they Stone Ruin me again, then I can draw a land to play Monitor. Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. That's fine. Just give me a land. Deck was bigger in Pioneer before the EI ban? Yeah, 100%. Land. Okay, that works. Not exactly the land I was thinking, but it works. It's good enough. Those are 2 really good cards. Alright, your turn. So if they Fury me, that's annoying, and I kind of assume they're going to Fury me, but we can beat that pretty easily. Tap land, it's fine. We can still cast it. It accomplishes the same thing. Yeah, I don't care. Do not care. Giga Chad don't care. Think I care? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I have, what, 3 artifacts in play? So... Unfortunately, I don't think I can play the Thopter Foundry here, so we have to go, like, Drum. Yeah, we have to go Drum Monitor. And then if I draw a Memnite, I can play the Foundry. Wait. Is there any reason to play the Drum? I mean, I'm not blocking this turn, so I'm just going to play the Drum. I think I'll just pass. Probably draw 2 with the Lantern this, or draw 1 with the Lantern this turn. Help build another version of this deck. How's it going? Well, we're 2 in game 3. This deck's feeling pretty good so far. I like it a lot. The Golos has actually been quite good. I've been a little surprised with how good Golos has been. Yeah, we started off 2-0, 4-0 too. Printing a cycle of duels that need to be tapped to common, that seems really good for things like Pauper. Pauper has plenty of those. I don't think Pauper needs more of those. How much for a deck tech? We usually do it for $5. I know I took away the channel point option, because I didn't want people, like, doing them a ton. Because my voice is still a little shot, but... Labyrinto, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. Okay... Can I afford the shock here? I think I can, right? White, blue... Blaze sword... Shock to 5, pass. And we just gain a whole bunch of life here. Yeah, I think it is worth shocking here. I can activate it 4 times, but I only have 2 blockers. That's the issue, right? But I think I'm safe as long as I have 2 blockers. Obviously, if they have 2 removal spells, then I die, but... Well... Okay, sack this. Oh no, now I still have 2 blockers, right? Still have 2 blockers. Yeah, this is fine. Do it this way. Do it this way. Yeah, I still have 2 blockers. Combo assembled. I might as well sack the sword. Just so I can have a 2-3 back. I don't know if that matters, but... Alright. Hold me down. I have 2 blockers. So now I can, what, Chump Fury, eat a Pyromancer, probably? Chump Fury, eat a Pyromancer, take 4? Go to 5? Cool with that. Pretty vanilla blue-white list, but I've had a few streamers save me from embarrassment in my local FNM. Gotcha. Alright, here's the Ragavan. Alright, now... Really good draw, because that kills Fury. So, what if I go... Make a token... Get Shadowspear... Equip Shadowspear to the gigantic token... And then pass. Get like this, just no attacks. Then we can Solitude the Fury if they have a removal spell for the Construct token. If they don't have a removal spell for this, they probably lose. Stomping me. Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna buy 10 copies of Leyline Binding. I pre-ordered my playset today. Alright, they do have the Fatal Push. Fortunate. I could Solitude my own Construct to gain 12. Is that better than Solituding the Fury? Because if I gain 12, these brick wall all of their other creatures anyways, right? That might actually be better. And then I can chump block the Fury. Okay, if I Solitude the Fury, stay at 3. I have 3 blockers. I end up going to 2? Which is a little dicey, right? If I go to 2. I think I'm going to gain 12, yeah. Hope your last card's not Bolt. Not much I can do if it is. Alright, Single Serving Friend, thank you for the $6 donation. Just drop a link in chat, we'll take a look at for this match. I'm gonna pop the Lantern to draw a card now. Well, I'm gonna float a mana. Not gonna draw a card now, but... Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have popped the Lantern to gain 1 less life, because I could have drawn Ephemerate, right? Yeah. I would have gained 1 less life, but if I draw Ephemerate, then it's just so fucking good. Yeah. Alright, didn't draw Ephemerate, but... Why are they doing this? I guess I'll just do it this way, right? 3, 6, 7. I could just take 7. It's probably fine. And I could even put the Shadowspear on the Thopter token to threaten the trade for Fury. Which is, like, pretty good. That's a good last card to have. Their draws have been pretty nuts. Alright, let's go Portable Hole. Equip here. Play Saga, pass. So this is, and if they have a removal spell, it's 8 damage. Maybe I should have chump blocked the Fury last turn. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I mean, I was never beating these draws anyways, so, you know, what do you want from me? I was never beating. You found new Rhinos tech? Is it the 6-mana O-Ring? Or is it more than that? Because we've already been talking about that one, Mike. It seems good. Needs a little bit of help with the 2 drums, but... This burn? This card's good against burn. Ooh, not burn at all. Oh, they're Whoa, okay, they're Asmo. Gotcha. Asmo. I don't know if this matchup's good. It's probably not. Get your evaluation for why that card's so good. It seems powerful, but an O-Ring of Flash at the end of the day. It costs 1 mana. So, the fact that it costs 1 mana, but it actually costs 6, means you can just put it in your Rhinos deck. And, like, 1 mana Flash kill any permanent is insane. It's just, like, so above the curve of any removal spell ever printed. It's so sick. Dude, this is the first time the Springleaf Drum Solitude thing has come up. Oh, I guess I don't have another white card, but... Replicate? You mean Repudiate? Isn't that what? That's 3 mana make a token, or 3 mana stifle, I think? Is that what it is? Maybe I should just pitched the Thopter Foundry and then Ephemerated. Or just, like, not played the Thopter Foundry. I'm kind of in a weird spot. Okay. 3 mana token, 2 mana stifle. I don't know. I feel like I've tried that card in, like, banned versions of Rhinos before, and I wasn't really that impressed with it. It's okay, but... I think it's a little medium. Yeah, I have played it before. Domain Zoo Aggro coming back? If this card is legal, it's really hard to justify playing Territorial Kavu. Yeah, if I draw a land, I can just go Solitude, float mana, play Urza. Just what I want to do. It's a lot of shit going on, though. Okay, land's good. I kind of have to kill Asmo, though, right? Because if I don't kill Asmo, they're just going to kill my Urza. God, this is so rough. Then if I kill Asmo, they get a loot when I play Urza. I have to. I have to kill Asmo, I think. Opponent's deck looks sweet. Yeah. Sucks that I give them a card, but I think I have to do it this way. Okay, token. 3/3, 4/4. So I can't quite play the Thought Monitor, right? 1 mana short. Unfortunate. Your turn. It's an okay turn, but I have 2 Sagas. I don't feel great about this game. Do not feel great about this game. They also have 6 cards in their hand, so I doubt we're winning this game. Yeah. They bobble 2, get some Shredder triggers, they have Daredevil in their hand, they get a billion looks at Asmo this turn. Not looking great. Yeah, Shredder is so busted. This card's so broken. Yeah, they found that Asmo too. Kind of want to just scoop. I don't think we can reasonably win this game. Maybe I'll take like 1 draw step, but I don't even think this would be a bad concession. We're dead. At least cast Monitor. I'm not going to be able to. If they correctly kill my Construct token, I can't even cast this. Okay, they didn't kill my Construct token, I guess. I mean, they're not going to kill it now, right? Oh, but this turns on Shredder. I mean, I was going to have to turn on Shredder anyways, right? It's going to need to be a pretty good 2 cards. Now they're killing it. I guess I should make white mana. Draw Portable Hole. Draw 2. Alright, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Out. Out, out, out. Get me out of here. Alright. What are we doing against Asmo? March of Otherworldly Light. Sounds fine. Kill Saga, kills Asmo. Lantern to break up Daredevil stuff might be fine. Snare bad, Storm bad. Seize is okay. Teferi is okay. Chalice? Yeah, I don't know. Chalice on 0 is kind of interesting. But, like, what do I cut? I feel like this is way too many cards. And I don't really think anything's bad against them, per se. Like, maybe Sentinel's bad, but maybe I'd, like, trim on the Memnite Drum kind of stuff. But that also makes Monitor worse. I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? Am I overboarding? You want to cut all the Memnites, though? It's only 1 Chalice. I could, like, keep in 1, maybe. Could do, like, 3 Memnite, a Drum, the Sentinels. Yeah, I guess the Explosives, too. Honestly, the Explosives is kind of awkward, though, because I think this comes down to, like, a Saga fight, but I don't want to blow up my own Saga tokens. What if I just didn't bring in the Explosives? That's 60. I kind of like that, actually. Let's try that. Unsure about Teferi. I really like Teferi on the play against opposing Saga decks. It's just, it's such huge tempo. Alright, I'm gonna keep this because I have an answer to Shredder. It's not an exciting hand, but... Oh, this was dumb. I should have played Fountain first. I guess they can't... They're like... There's not really any 1-drops that I would want to Portable Hole. Yeah, I don't even think I should Portable Hole that. I mean, I guess it cuts them off Asmo, potentially, but I'm not going to. I'd rather just Portable Hole the Asmo, I think. Their ones are really important to kill. I don't think I actually want to kill this. They didn't activate it. I'd much rather save this for an Asmo or a Shredder. It's like an Engineer or something? Okay. So this is probably dumping Manufactor. Okay. So now I probably have to kill the Engineer, right? Yeah, I'm gonna kill the Engineer. So let's go here. Play Portable Hole. I'm gonna kill the Engineer. I guess I get punished if they drew a Daredevil, but if I target the Cookbook, they can just discard a random card and then use that token to make the Manufacturer. But I guess they wouldn't have a Cookbook at that point, so maybe that's better, but I don't know. It's maybe like a second Cookbook? Fatal Push, maybe? Yeah, that's not... Jesus Christ. Christ, that's really bad. Yeah, that's bad. That is not good. Not good. I am in danger. I don't actually think casting Golos gets me anywhere, so... Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I could get Lantern, but I kind of want to just get Shadowspear and try to just brace them. I like this better. I'm just going to try and go super wide. Not sure if this is a good plan, but, like, I don't really think that Lantern is that great either. Yeah, it's possible I lost this game and I didn't kill the cookbook, but... Like, now I might just get comboed. Oh my god. Yeah, we're dead to Time Sieve. Do you have Time Sieve? Aether Spellbomb. Yeah, probably still can't beat that either. Like... Mm-hmm. Well... Alright, I guess I'll go to combat. This is just such a losing battle, though. Can't beat the constructs they're about to make and also get their own spear. Yeah. I know. I know we're dead. Manufactor is such a perfect card for Johnny. Scan up the love decks with Time Sieve Manufactor. Yeah, it's a sweet interaction for sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop wasting time. I am gonna stop wasting... closer to like 9, but they've about doubled since I bought them. Alright. Last match for all of the marbles. We started off so well. Took a couple of losses. Let's see if we can bring it back. This hand's great. Definitely keeping. You own 500 Storm the Festivals? Sheesh. Played Abzan less RSQ and wouldn't recommend. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about Abzan is I think you can go under mono green. The thing that I always thought that Abzan... I mean, obviously, if mono green does get Karn into play and just continuously plus it, Abzan can't beat that. But your deck can go under that, you know what I mean? Like, you have the ability to go under it, which is, you know, that's kind of the ideal situation. But, I don't know, it's still kind of an uphill battle. Always have a set of full art Casmina Enigma Sage at the ready if someone tests my patience. Gotta get those Casminas. So Grixis Shadow. Okay. We call this Dinomorphia. For those of you who got that reference. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Alright, I will cast Portable Hole. And I'll play Urza Saga. I'll attack you. 300 Punishing Fires? Jeez. Yeah, my only real true speculation was Inverter of Truth. That was my one big speculation. I think I bought like 170 of them, and I made so much money on those things. Like, it was crazy how much money I made on those. I only bought copies that I saw for $2 or less, and I think I sold basically every single one of them for like... wait? I think I sold every single one of them for like at least $6 a piece. No, I have 6. I didn't mean F6. God damn it. I meant to yield until next end step. I think we're fine though. Drum. Island, I guess? Let's get Hallowed Fountain. Sentinel. One Ragavan worth the profit, yeah. And then leave back this in case they have stupid thing. Ragavan. Trade deal, I cast Death Shadow, it dies. Yeah, Asponda, how do you feel about my opponent casting Death Shadow last turn? Seems like you were not, you know, pretty pleased with that. I mean, this is your 2 favorite decks going at it, you know? Reprint Impulse and Dominator is a good card in Modern. No, but it's going to be good in Pioneer, I think. They also floated mana and didn't pay? Wait, what? I'm so confused. I have lots of questions. Paid actor confirmed? Alright, how do I want to sideboard against the Shadow of Death? The Shadow of Death, huh? Lusterstorm could be okay. Lusterstorm is good against, what, Iteration, Drown, discard spells? Maybe. Lantern could be okay. Not a big fan of these counter spells. Hate Spreading Seas. Kind of like Tef. I don't love Chalice because we have a lot of ones. Same with Explosives. We have Solitude anyways, that's fine. I'm going to cut, like, a couple of Memnites. I'm going to cut one Golos, just a little slow. Let's try that. 71 footfalls for 60 Canadian? That's a pretty good deal. You probably made a killing on that, huh? Thopter Foundry, Thought Monitor, 5 lands, including a Saga. I think we can do better, but at the same time, I really don't like mulliganing against Thoughtseize decks. But this hand's pretty bad against Ragavan. I'll ship this one. Okay, I mean, I don't know if this is better, but I kind of want to keep this one. Yeah, I'll keep this one. Put back the second Ephemerate, I think. This is probably worse. Maybe opponent could play Govit too. It's up to Cheeto. I played GDS if I can go back to Grimmax WD. Grimmax WD like the old days. Ooh, perfect. Probably should have cut maybe both the Goloses in this matchup. Alright, well, we're probably going to game 3. Taking back to the old days. Yeah. Before Modern Horizons. I mean... Gassed, I guess. They kill my Memnite, I can Ephemerate it. So I can try to block. Does Modern Green play 4 Teferi? No, they usually play 2 or 3. I think I'm going to play 3. But I think most of the list now that I've seen play 2. I'll probably get to play 3, though. I like the card a lot. I just want to draw it every game. I kind of lean more 3 Teferi, 3 Kiora than 4 Kiora, 2 Teferi. Oh my god. Okay. I'll attempt to save my Memnite so I can block your Ragavan. That worked. We'd save for a Solitude, and then just get destroyed by the Ragavan? I don't know. I guess I'm just screwed no matter what I do. That shock, no attacks, huh? Alright. Okay, I will cast Thopter Foundry. Your turn. I mean, if I draw Sword of the Meek, I can still win this game. Or even if I just draw 2 lands. Fat Pikachu is a tier 1 deck in Pokemon TCG, and I just bought the deck. Why did you buy the Fat Pikachu deck? I guess the better question I should ask is, why wouldn't you buy the Fat Pikachu deck? Because it is Fat Pikachu, so... Why did they not destroy the land? Because it's indestructible. They also only had 2 red mana, but yeah, this is indestructible. They have multiple Shattering Sprees. First of all, I don't think that's common, and second of all, that's really bad for us. Kane also bought it? Yeah, I saw Kane's tweet earlier. Surely I can win after getting hit by Ragavan twice. They must really hate Hammer Time? Yeah. Whoa! Okay, that's kind of weird, champ. That one is a bit weird, champ. I guess that explains why they don't have Giganta. How much are tier 1 Pokemon decks? That's a good question. How much, roughly, Hong, roughly how much did you spend? Is this Shadow Scam? Isn't it always a scam? It's just every single deck is a scam. $80. Between 100 and 107. It's kind of a wide range, but... 80 on the super low end, 200 on the higher end most of the time? Okay. So average it out to like, what, 130? It's pretty cheap for like a tier 1 deck, $130. I have no idea how to play, but... Alright, should have kept the first hand. Fluster on the play. I don't like Fluster on the play that much if they have like Grief and shit. I'm just gonna run it back. Maybe I'll get to play Magic this game. It's just vintage. Dude, I was watching some of the top 8 of the Pokemon World Championships, the Pokemon TCG, and I watched somebody cast a card, and when it resolved, they drew 6 cards. It basically, it's literally Time Twister, but you draw 6 and they draw 2. Like, what? It's Time Twister, but you draw 6 and they draw 2. And I saw that card cast, and I just, like, I had to look away. I just couldn't take it. Yeah, can we get that card and match it? Yeah, they have infinite tutors, too. And they're all, like, +1, you know? They all like, tutor for 2 cards. It's like search for a Pokemon and an energy, and they just, like, cast 3 of them in the same turn. So they just, like, you know, they just always have, like, 10 cards in their hand. It was wild. There was some wild shit going on. Alright, all the marbles. Come on. I can't keep this. Alright, I mean, the Cataracts the opening end, but I have to keep this. You have double Foundry to play around Thoughtseize too, but if I just draw, like, any colored source, this hand's busted. No hand size also? Oh, really? They don't have a hand size? My god. They had a double strip mine for free when I played for, like, a week, like, 20 years ago. Double strip mine for free. You have to think very different Pokemon TCG in terms of taking turns, not a game tempo advantage. Yeah. Oh my god, we're gonna get scammed. Fitting way to lose last round. Yeah, I don't think I could possibly lose if I had kept my 7 game 2. It was just, like, Saga and cards. Your deck has such a hard time beating Saga. Might draw a card. Yeah, I guess, but it's gonna be so hard to win if they take both Foundries. Doesn't a land just give you combo? No, because they're gonna take both of my Foundries. They're gonna cast stupid Undying Malice or whatever. I'm not getting to keep a Foundry here. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting sick of these elementals. You and the entire world. It's almost like free spells were a bad idea. Who could have possibly seen this coming? I don't think anybody in the entire world could have seen this coming. Wow, free spells, bad idea. I don't know, if I had it my way, I would just ban every single elemental and every single force. That just shouldn't be a part of Modern. It's so stupid. Good times with the ghosts and left behind. So next deck, by the way, Gen Saga. I'll draw a land I can play Monitor, and we're back in this game, but... Land! Fuck. I think I actually shouldn't attack. Because if I attack, I lose the Ephemerate, and I need to be able to protect this. I don't know if it's worth the 2 damage. I'm not winning this race anyways, so... You're bolting the Sentinel. Okay. It's good for me. Good-ish. Still need a land. It's also going to put me at 1 life. So I'm going to take 4 from this twice, because I have to tap the Sentinel to be able to play the Monitor next turn. So that kind of sucks. I don't think Force of Vigor and Negation are bad for the format. So, Negation is bad because Violent Outburst exists. If Violent Outburst didn't exist, I would agree with you. But the problem is, Negation is used alongside Violent Outburst, and that's where the issue becomes. It's no longer a defensive tool, it's a proactive tool. That's why it's not healthy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Actually, wait, hold on. If I play the bridge, I can play double Monitor, right? Yeah, this is way better, I think. Because then I have 3 blockers. Interesting. Do I hold up Ephemerate? Also, Portable hold the explosives, which is not terrible. It's kind of interesting. I think all 3 lines are pretty good. Cast Monitor, pass with 3 blockers up, Portable hold the explosives, pass with 2 blockers up, or just pass with 3 and hold up Ephemerate. I think all lines are pretty good. Can March the Grief? I guess I could also do that. Do it while they're tapped out, maybe. But then I have to pitch the Ephemerate and the Hole, though. Hole EE seems safe. Not necessarily. If I hold the EE, I have to tap a blocker, and then if they just have Fatal Push, I go to 1. I don't want to go to 1 here. I kind of think the safest line is just Monitor. Because this leaves me with 3 blockers, so they need 2 removal spells to be able to attack. So, this doesn't kill any of my blockers right now, so... Think you'll leave up for March? I mean, this also, like they're not getting through with the Grief this turn, right? I guess if they have Kolaghan's Command, they can get through with the Grief. That's, like, worst-case scenario. They go, like, shock 2 damage, put me to 1. Okay. It's annoying, but we still can trade for the Grief. I don't even know if they're supposed to attack here. It's a really good draw. Yeah, I think we win now. So, I kind of want to do this main phase, because I don't want them to have a removal spell. Well, actually, nah, this is, like, kind of fine, right? We just go, like, play Saga, pass? Yeah, we can just kind of chill. I'm down to just chill. Scam cleared? Yeah. Oh, yeah, they also cleared their own explosives, so... And, now they can't drown and lock my Solitude. Yeah, I drew a free spell, so now I can win. Alpine Moon, moderately annoying. I'm gonna float a mana, let it resolve. Let me just Solitude down, use the Ephemerate of the Monitors instead. Maybe, but like I can get more information out of them. I can wait for them to do stuff too. Like I don't have to be the first one to act. I can wait, you know. You're griefing me. Sure. So is their last card on Dying Palace? I'm gonna Solitude first, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna Solitude right now. Oh, they fucked up the triggers, so now they're super dead. This game's over. Pitch hole. Yeah, now they can't win. Now the game is over. So their Undying Malice doesn't do anything. They get to take a card I don't really care about. Got a song request from Otter. In the queue. I only realized this week that Alpine Moon says opponent's land. I messed out and using that card for so long. Yeah, Alpine Moon is one-sided. Just pretty gross. Draw 2, by the way. Alright, let's go Memnite. Portable Hole the Alpine Moon. Play Saga. How much does this thing cost? 1? Pog. Might as well equip. Deck. Your turn. The game is over. Alright, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, not bad. Not too bad. I'm just gonna play her on Counterspell. I'm just gonna attack. There's no reason to do anything else. I feel like opponent won't be coming back from this. I also have that same feeling. Something tells me they're probably not coming back from this. When you cast, like, 7 draw 2s against the Scam deck, against the deck that 2-for-1s themselves to try and Thoughtseize you, and you cast resolve 3 divinations, yeah, they can't win. It's like... their deck cannot beat a divination. Even more so than Jund. Like, you remember the old joke that Jund couldn't beat a divination? Their deck literally can't beat a divination. It's like... Alright, let's bat the prediction. Wow, only 30% believers. Nobody has faith in me, huh? Alright. So, little outro for the YouTube. So, we ended up going 3-2. Deck was pretty sweet. I liked a lot of what was going on here. The Goloses were a little bit slow. I understand that you want more stuff to do with Ephemerate, so I understand the appeal here. But might be better off just playing like the 4th copy of Foundry and the 4th copy of Sentinel. Ephemerate is still really good. It's good even just protecting Sentinel or Memnite, as you saw in some of those games. And also, it's obviously good with like Urza, Solitude, Monitor. So I don't know if you need the Golos package. Also, Cascading Cataracts inner opening hand came up a couple of times, which was pretty awkward, especially when you're trying to cast Thopter Foundry on turn 2. So something to consider there. There was also an oversight. We missed the Pithing Needle, so you definitely want a Pithing Needle somewhere in the 75, most likely in the sideboard. But yeah, overall deck was pretty sweet. And if you're watching on YouTube...